Hey guys, in this video we're going to take a look at object-oriented PHP and object-oriented programming in general. Okay, so what is object-oriented programming? It's a programming language model that is organized around objects rather than actions and data rather than logic. Alright, now there's a lot of different languages that are geared towards the object-oriented model. PHP, of course, is one of them. Especially after PHP 5. We have Java, Python, C++, .NET, Ruby. So you can see these are all high-level languages that are very popular, that all have, they're all capable of using object-oriented programming. So concepts, we have, of course, objects, classes, and in classes we can have methods and properties, data abstraction and encapsulation, class inheritance, polymorphism, and constructors and destructors. And we'll be going over all these through the course. Alright, so some of the advantage of object-oriented programming: code reuse and recycling is a big one. Whether it's in the same application or a completely different application, we can reuse classes and objects. Encapsulation, so basically if you have some kind of resource or functionality, you can keep that all wrapped up in one object. And keep your properties and methods inside of that object. Design benefits, of course, it's much easier to read, it's easier to scale. Software maintenance is another big one. Like I said, it's easy to scale, it's easy to debug, you can find problems easier, so it's easier to maintain. Some of the disadvantages, there's not too many, but one could be that it's a little complicated to learn at first. Once you get the hang of it and you understand how it works, it's actually not bad at all. It's actually easier in my opinion. But it is tough to kind of get that concept, especially if you're coming from the world of procedural programming. It does require a little extra thinking, and there's a little more code involved. Alright, so the basic syntax, we have a class here called user, and that we use these curly braces inside the class. We can have properties, which can be public, protected, or private, and we'll be going over those in a minute. We can also have methods, which are basically just functions inside a class. So this is nothing more than a regular PHP function. So public means that your properties and methods can be accessed from outside of the class. Okay, so basically from anywhere. Protected means that they're only accessible in the class and any classes that extend that class. Private means that they're only accessible in the class and that's it. Even if there's another one that's extended from that, it's not going to be available. Alright, and these can be attached to both properties and methods. Okay, so inheritance. Classes can be extended to a child class, and child classes will then have access to all of its parents' properties and methods unless the visibility is set to private. Alright, and this is how we would extend it. You say class, whatever the child class, and then extends whatever the parent class. So to instantiate and use a class, you want to create a variable and set it to new and then whatever the class name. To print a property, we could say echo and then whatever the class variable and then whatever property we want. Same thing with methods or functions. We use the variable and then whatever the name of the method or function. Alright, so abstract classes, these are classes that are kind of used as a base. Okay, they can't be instantiated. You just use them to extend other classes. Alright, if a property or method is abstract, then the class also must be set as abstract. Alright, so this method here is abstract, so the class has to be as well. Okay, so that is a very brief overview of object-oriented programming. So let's move on and we'll get into some of the stuff that we talked about.